impacted counties and impacted Floridians. We know that there have been at least 4 tornadoes that have touched down in the Panhandle. There are currently 21 counties under a tornado watch and 2 counties under a tornado warning, and an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms across the state. All of North Florida remains under a tornado watch. There will be heavy winds and rain impacting the state throughout the balance of the day. 34 school districts are closed today, and the Department of Education is working with districts as they make school closure decisions for tomorrow. We know at least Jackson County will be closed tomorrow. Yesterday, I activated the Florida State Guard, which has more than 30 soldiers who will assist the Division of Emergency Management with damage assessments beginning today. In Bay County, technical rescue team is on scene, and we have the tactical rescue teams on the ground completing damage assessments in impacted areas. We have also deployed Florida Highway Patrol troopers to the Panhandle who are actively escorting critical equipment and personnel into impacted areas. FDOT crews have already cleared down trees on I-10 in Walton and Holmes counties, in addition to clearing roads in Okaloosa, Jackson, and Leon counties, and will continue clearing roads throughout the day. As of 12 o'clock, there were 87,000 accounts without power, and utility crews are actively working to restore these accounts as the weather clears. The Florida Department of Commerce has activated the Business Damage Assessment Survey to help assess the needs of impacted businesses. You can complete the survey by visiting floridadisaster.biz, floridadisaster.biz. And the Department of Commerce will be canvassing businesses in Northwest Florida beginning today. Please continue to monitor your local weather service for updates on when it is safe to go outside. You can visit floridadisaster.org or follow at FLSERT for more updates, and we'll hear now from the Director of the Division of Emergency Management, Kevin Guthrie.
Thank you, Governor. As always, thank you for your leadership and your support during this time. Every time we activate the COC, you're obviously right here with us. Currently, the State Emergency Operations Center is activated at level 1 with all of our response partners present today. We remain in close communication with all county emergency management offices to ensure we are addressing any unmet needs. A tornado watch remains in effect for most of North Florida at this time, from about the Suwannee River Valley all the way through to Jacksonville and St. Johns counties. The executive order the governor just spoke about includes the counties of Bay, Calhoun, Columbia, Dixie, Franklin, Gadsden, Gilchrist, Gulf, Hamilton, Holmes, Jackson, Jefferson, Lafayette, Leon, Liberty, Madison, Suwannee, Taylor, Wakulla, Walton, and Washington counties. Additional severe weather watches will be likely issued as we move on through the late afternoon hours. There is an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms across the Florida Panhandle, Big Bend, Nature Coast, and through the Suwannee River Valley. These storms are going to be capable of producing widespread damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour, and tornadoes and large hail are possible. This line of storms will reach the west central coast of Florida this afternoon, just before becoming slightly weaker over the southern peninsula as we go through the night hours. I remind residents to heed all warnings from local officials. If you have a weather radio, now is the time to make sure the batteries are charged so that you can still receive important information if you're in the peninsula of Florida. As a reminder, a tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for a tornado. A tornado warning means that we actually have radar indicated circulation. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. So I want to make sure that people understand, if you're receiving a tornado warning, there are winds aloft that are circulating and coming into contact with the ground. So please seek shelter immediately. More than 20 tornado warnings have been issued across the Panhandle today. Residents need to remain vigilant and stay indoors. If a tornado warning is issued in your area, seek shelter immediately in an interior room away from doors. If it's necessary, cover and protect your head and body with blankets and or pillows. Strong wind gusts may cause down power lines and trees, and these are a significant safety hazard. Please do not touch any wires that are down in trees. If you're under a warning, do not go outside right now. It is not safe to walk or drive. Please stay indoors in an interior room of your house or business. Right now, as the governor's mentioned, there's over 87,000 accounts without power, and our electrical providers are working diligently to restore the power as fast as they possibly can. For more information on school closures, road closures, and other vital updates, please make sure you visit floridadisaster.org/storminfo. And again, as the governor's already said, residents can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at FLSERT at FLCERT. Again, Governor, thank you for your leadership and your support.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all the hard work that folks really sprung into action. This is obviously going to impact the state throughout the day. Please heed the warnings. I know those guys are already on the ground helping with the damage assessments, and will have whatever help they need. Kevin's going to remain here for any questions on the events. Thanks.
Governor, what's the status of your campaign with it?
Director, do you have any information on injuries or fatalities or anything like that at this point?
Yeah, I spoke earlier today, and again, the question for those that may not have heard is, has there been any reported injuries? We've had a lot of minor injuries reported by the counties. Bay County did have 5 trauma alerts, one of those being a head injury, but at this point in time, we have no fatalities to report. There is some rumors out there, and again, right now, I'll have to say that they are rumors, but we've got FHP and some others working on this, perhaps a tree fell in a car. Again, we can't really verify that right now, but as soon as we can, we'll get that out to you.
This area that has seen a lot of the damage so far kind of butts up against the Hurricane Idalia damage. I guess can kind of talk about kind of the coordination between the two, like in your guys' response.
Right, so the question is, a lot of this area that's going to be impacted and is being impacted right now as we speak is Hurricane Idalia area. As I look over here to our screen on the left. So we coordinate closely. Obviously, we have documented all the damage that is Hurricane Idalia. But what we will do now is we will start damage assessments on new damage. So it'll be very easy for our damage assessment teams to be able to see that. So if it's vegetation, there will be a lot of green leaves in that versus brown leaves from 4 or 5 months ago. So that the vegetation issue and the damage to homes will be really easy for us to identify. So we're not expecting there to be any problem there, but you do have to separate. And I think the heart of your question is, how do you do that? How do you separate it? We'll work with the counties and go through and do those damage assessments and keep it as to what is from this particular storm system. And then we will be doing the necessary paperwork to see if we qualify for any potential FEMA assistance or other assistance. So that'll be ongoing over the next week or so.
How long do you think we're going to be in the dangerous window here?
So meteorology, our meteorologists, we have 4 of them here on staff. Our chief meteorologist and deputy chief meteorologists say that we're going to be underneath the tornadic stuff probably through the early evening hours, 5, 6 o'clock by the time it moves completely off the East Coast. But then we're going to be dealing with the high straight line winds that are behind this system into the overnight hours and subsiding somewhere tomorrow in the morning hours. So we will have straight line wind gusts in overnight and pretty much all across the state of Florida, anywhere from 20-ish miles an hour up to 50, 55 miles an hour throughout the night, overnight, and then again they'll subside throughout the day tomorrow.
And I guess you kind of talk about your message to people to kind of prepare for any more storms overnight, especially since we are not in hurricane season right now.
Right. So the question centers around being ready for the overnight hours and ultimately I think what you should do, and that is please make sure you have a way to receive alerts, whether that's on your phone, you sign up for them. You can do that at your local county. You can do that here with us at the state or at our website, floridadisaster.org. But also you can have some people have a weather radio. That's a tried and true way of getting your messages and alerts. So again, have that weather radio close by, have your phone close by. Don't silence alerts because you're going to want to be notified of that stuff if it happens in the middle of the night. I think it's important for us to go ahead and state we don't anticipate having tornado warnings overnight. I don't think we'll see that. We may work into some high wind watches or high wind warnings overnight. Still severe, can cause severe damage, especially if you get a straight line wind at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour that hits an area that's saturated by water. It could bring over a tree. So again, wanting to make sure that you have a way to receive those alerts so that you're notified to seek shelter if you need to.
Director, I've heard and seen some pictures. It looks like this was a pretty devastating storm system to move through. Do you guys have any estimation as to how powerful these tornadoes were, or what kind of damage are you guys hearing about?
So I am not a certified meteorologist to be able to give you exact damage. I will tell you from history and my experience, the tornado that hit the lower area of Panama City looks like it's probably EF2-ish type damage. There is a house that is listing about 25 degrees in one direction. For it to have to pick that up off its foundation and move it like that, you may even be into EF3 status there. So again, the National Weather Service Mobile and National Weather Service Tallahassee, as well as the other remaining 5 National Weather Services, will get out maybe as early as today, but probably tomorrow, and verify the damage and let us know if it's EF0, 1, 2, or 3. I don't see any damage in the pictures and video coming in that would be in the EF3 plus damage area, but certainly some that are probably EF2, maybe EF3.
Are you expecting to ask for FEMA assistance to kind of help with these people?
Yeah, so the short answer is probably. There are thresholds that the state has to meet to request assistance from FEMA. This is not a widespread disaster. It is impacting, as the governor said, 49 counties. Right now we have significantly impacted Bay County and Jackson County. You may see a declaration, or I should say declaration, but a request for assistance from FEMA going up. It will not be today. It won't be tomorrow because we've got to go do those damage assessments. It's not one of those like a hurricane Cat 3, 4, or 5 where they're just going to automatically give it to us like they have in the past. We got to do the work to earn it, if you will, in this case. So we'll be working through that. We have got to reach about $36 million in state and locally funded damages to qualify for what's referred to as public assistance. Individual assistance, they've got to have a significant amount of homes damaged to qualify for individual assistance. It's based on population, so that's going to vary county by county. So we will get in there, we'll do our due diligence, we'll come up with the numbers. If those numbers meet the algorithm that FEMA has, then we will make the request for a declaration. I will tell you, it's going to be iffy, but again, if we meet the criteria, we will make a request through FEMA for a declaration for individual assistance and, if possible, public assistance. The one last thing I will say on that is I think what people should start anticipating now is that it may not be a FEMA declared event. It most likely will probably be a SBA or Small Business Administration declared event, and we have those quite a bit around the state of Florida.
Do you know if, so a lot of this where this storm hit was also hit by Hurricane Michael in 2018, as you know, that left acres flattened. I mean, how far along would this area in the recovery from that storm when these storms hit, and how far will this set them back?
Yeah, I talked to Sheriff Ford and County Administrator Bob Micah this morning. Again, to the point, Rick, you hit the nail on the head. This is an area that has pretty much just recovered. There's still some recovery efforts going on, but the area down by the wharf and whatnot just got smacked again. So it is going to Callaway, portions of Lynn Haven, got some additional damage. So it's discouraging. But again, that's Bay County and the Panhandle is a very resilient community. I'm sure they're going to bounce back. We're going to be there. The governor's already mentioned we're going to be there as long as it takes to help them recover and make sure that they have the resources necessary to do so.
Does the state upfront money to the local municipalities for storms like this, similar to hurricanes?
No, so the money that we end up upfronting to cities and counties is a part of what's referred to as a FEMA expedited project. So they write up a statement of work, if you will, for ease of terms. They write up a statement of work. They submit that with an estimated cost, and then FEMA will advance them, in essence, 50% of that project total that's estimated. That will not happen here unless we get to FEMA public assistance or FEMA individual assistance, okay? All right, thank you so much, folks. I appreciate your time.